Salve omnes, quid agitis? How are you doing? So one of the ways I like to start class is with some recitation. Today I would like to just recite the cases and the jobs they do. Okay, kind of like a little chant. So this is how it would go. Nominative, subject, genitive, possessive, dative, indirect, object, accusative, direct object, ablative, object of the preposition. Okay, so that's just some way that you can chant every day to get yourself remembering the cases and the jobs that they do. So I have a question for you. How do we know what declension a noun belongs to? That's right. The declension a noun belongs to is determined by the genitive singular. So all nouns whose genitive singular ends in AE belong to the first declension. All nouns whose genitive singular end in the letter I belong to the second declension. And in our last video, we learned our second declension masculine model, which was servus servi. Okay, and that I in the genitive singular told us that it was second declension. The US of the nominative singular told us that it was masculine. Okay, so that was our masculine model. Well, today we're going to work on our neuter model. And here it is. Bellum, belly. Okay, so we know it's second declension because the genitive singular ends in the letter I, okay? And we know it's neuter because the nominative singular ends in UM, okay? So this is our, let me go back to my black marker. This is our second declension. UM nouns are neuter, okay? All right, well, if we learn two simple rules about all neuter nouns, then we will know how to decline this, okay? So the first rule is that the nominative and the accusative are always identical, okay? So if the nominative is the accusative will be okay? They're always identical. The other neuter rule is that the nominative and accusative plural always end in A, okay? So those are the two neuter rules. It's going to hold true for second declension neuter, third declension neuter, and fourth declension neuter, okay? So let's go ahead and decline, bellum, belly, our neuter model, okay? So here we go. Remember, we have singular, we have plural, okay? And we have our 5 cases. Before I write them, see if you can say them. Okay, we have nominative, we have genitive, dative, accusative, and ablative. Okay, there are our ablatives getting a little lost there. Okay, there we go. There is our chart. Okay, let me draw my nice lines because I really like lines. And when you do it, you might want to make a nice chart also. Okay, so remember, we always take this first one and we put it here. Okay, bellum. Okay? Now, because it's a neuter noun, we know that one also goes in the accusative place, okay? And if we learned our other accusative rule, we know that the nominative and accusative plural always end in A. So we know this one is bella and bella, wars, okay? So, by the way, that is the word for war, in case you hadn't started learning your vocab yet, okay? Try to get this so you can see a little better, okay? I'll do that in a second. So the rest is just like our second declension masculine. Okay, so I'll get my stem there. Bell, 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 and bell for ablative. Okay, and by the way, here was serva servi. Right next door is bellum belly. Okay, so bellum, belly, bello, bellum, bello, bella, bellorum, bellies, bella, bellies. Okay, so except for those neuter rules, it's the same. Let me do this so you can see it. It's the same as the masculine. Okay, so just apply the neuter rules. Nominative and accusative are identical, and nominative and accusative plural end in A. Okay, awesome. So you have some new words in your textbook on page 21, and you can tell that they're second declension because of the I in the genitive singular, and they're all neuter because of the UM in the nominative singular. Okay, so your assignment is going to be for this time is going to be to do exercise 15, 16, and 17. Okay, and we've been working that, so I don't think there's anything new there that you have to do except for these new neuter nouns. So with the time that we have left, I would like to correct exercise 13. So take out for me exercise 13, and let's go over some of the sentences and how you translated them, and maybe I can answer some questions for you about them. Okay, so let's start with number 2. Okay, number 2. Okay, we'll do number 2. Amici, let me make that better, Dei. Okay, amici Dei, Christianos. Okay, and then laudant. Okay, so before I do anything, you tell me, what am I looking at first? That's right, the verb. I'm going to look at the verb to see what kind of subject I'm looking for. Am I looking for a singular or a plural subject? So I'm going laudant. Ooh, I see that NT. So I know I'm looking for a plural subject. So let me look at all my endings and try to decide what could be my endings. So now, one of the things you can do is use that grammar book to help you look at, oh, I, os. Remember, it will tell you, okay, look, you look at the endings and it will help you figure out what jobs, that they list the jobs over here in case you forget. So we can see by using that chart that amici and dei could both be nominative plural, okay? What's the other thing that it could be? If you look at that chart, okay? Right, it could be the genitive singular. So because there's no et, which is the word for and in Latin, to combine them, we know they're both not subjects, okay? So one of them is going to be a genitive, the other is going to be the subject, okay? So because we know that Latin has some consistencies, I'm just going to choose to make the first one my subject, okay? Therefore, I'm going to make the second one my genitive. We'll see how it works out. If it doesn't work out, we try something different, okay? Os, okay? If you look at your chart, direct object, right? Accusative case. Okay, so remember, we're going to go subject and anything that modifies it, verb, direct object. Okay, so that's kind of new we're adding to our sentences. If it has modifiers, whether it's a genitive or an adjective, you do that with your subject or a different part of speech. So let's try that. So I'm going to do what I think is the subject, the friends, and I want to do my genitive members of, the friends of God. Okay, now I'm going to hop to my verb because I've dealt with my subject. The friends of God praise, who or what do they praise? Praise the Christians. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that's how we translated that one. The friends of God praise the Christians. Okay, so let me erase this and we'll do another one. Okay, that was number 2. So I wonder how you did on that one. If you're my student and you didn't get it right or you have any questions, I want you to feel free to ask me that. Okay, let's look at, why don't we just do evens? I think that's going to be easy. Number 4, we'll do now Christiani. Christiani, and then Mariam, and again laudant. Okay, that's a very common verb right now because you don't have very many verbs. Start with the verb. Okay, ooh, look, the verb is plural. I'm looking for a plural subject. I've got this and I've got that. We just talked about this. We know that letter I is a subject ending. So I got subject, okay, that's direct object ending. So subject, verb, direct object. The Christians, verb, praise Mary. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm not even going to write that one down. That was so fast. I'm sure you got that one right. Okay, let's go with number 6. I don't know what it is. Number 6 says, servi Christianos. And are we praising again? We are. What a surprise. Laudant. Okay, so head into that verb, laudant, plural ending. Look at that. Again, same thing. Subject, os. Hopefully now, right away, you know, os, direct object ending. Okay? Subject, verb, direct object. Servants praise Christians. Remember, you could say the. The servants praise the Christians. But Latin doesn't have words for or the, so we don't know. Okay, the last one I'm going to do is a hard one. Okay? And so I want to end with this one and just try to explain some things. So it's number 11, and it's got 2 parts to this sentence. Okay? So it starts out with the first sentence that Deus terram et silvas. I think it's going to be videt. Yes. Okay, so we got that sentence. Now I'm going to leave a little room to write that. And then sentence number 2 is nautas et servos et, I think it's Christianos, yes, Christianos. And then we're going to have videt. That's going to be really important, that videt, okay? So let's start with our top sentence. Okay, so we have, oh look, verb with a singular ending T. So I'm looking for a singular subject. So let me check my first word, us. I know that's servus, servi, servo. Ooh, definitely nominative singular, so I'm going to make that my subject. Us, okay, combined with an et there, so you know they're going to be the same job because there's an et between them. Okay, and we know is a direct object ending, okay? So we'll do our same pattern, subject, verb, direct object. God sees, he sees what? He sees the land and the forest. Okay, now you might ask why I'm just saying forest. But this is one of those nouns that it's in plural in Latin, but we are free to say just the forest. Okay, there's going to be several that will do this. So just get used to that. Can you say forests? Of course you can. But mostly we'll just say forest. God sees the earth or the land and the forest. Okay, now, second sentence, going right to that verb. Okay, so it also ends in a T. So we're looking for a singular subject. So let's look at these endings. Os, os, os. Well, first of all, those are all plural. Okay, and remember, you can't have a plural subject with a singular verb. Okay, so that's not going to work. Also, they're all in the accusative case. This is first declension accusative plural, and these are second declension accusative plurals. So you have 3 direct objects. So do you remember where to find a subject if there's not another noun that's the subject? That's right. You can find it in the verb. So sometimes I label this subject verb. Okay, so I just remember, okay, my subject's in the verb. So this time I'm going to say, he sees. Okay, because remember, we're talking to God. It could be he, she, or it. But this sentence was about God, so I'm going to keep it as a he. He sees the sailors and the servants and the Christians. Okay, so that's just a little bit on translating today. And next time when we come together, we're going to learn about indirect objects. Okay, so I will say, Vale te discipuli. Talk to you later.